From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed. Polls closed an hour ago across the UK, where the Conservatives are expected to go down to defeat after 14 years in power under 5 prime ministers. An exit poll suggests the Labour Party is headed for a huge majority and that Labour leader Keir Starmer will be the country's next prime minister. Pollsters asked people at scores of polling stations to fill out a replica ballot showing how they have voted. It usually provides a reliable, though not exact, projection of the final result. Back at home, Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland is downplaying concerns over her leader's ability to take the Liberals into the next election.
The Prime Minister has my full support. I know he has the full support of Cabinet, and I know he has the full support of the vast majority of Liberal MPs.
That's after a shocking by-election loss to the Conservatives in Toronto last week. Freeland says the loss sent the Liberals a strong message that things are hard and life is challenging right now. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is promising to scrap the Liberals' Online Harms Act if it becomes law.
That's after the federal budget watchdog estimated setting up proposed regulators under the new legislation could cost $200 million over 5 years. The parliamentary budget officer says the government provided estimates that staffing up to 3 new regulatory offices would require 300 people when they're fully up and running. The Liberals say a digital safety commission is needed to compel companies to better protect Canadians against online harms. Don Kelly, The Canadian Press.
In Yukon now, the territory's mining minister says elevated levels of cyanide have been detected in a waterway after an equipment failure and slide of ore at Victoria Gold's Eagle Mine. It could potentially affect fish. The statement comes hours after the company stated no cyanide had been detected in surface water since a spill at its Yukon Eagle Mine last week. Elections Canada is reporting the Conservative Party of Canada spent more than $8.5 million on advertising last year. That's far more than other federal parties. The Liberals spent about $381,000 and the NDP about $42,000. Canadians in Grenada and Montreal are rallying to help after Hurricane Beryl blasted the islands. The hurricane got downgraded to a Category 2 storm today after claiming 9 lives, including 3 in Grenada. Lynn Cack moved to Grenada from Toronto in 2018 and is a volunteer warden with the Canadian High Commission in Barbados, which offers counselor assistance to Canadians in Grenada. She's been busy buying bottled water to help send to the islands, a precious resource that she says is running out in the country. And Hudson's Bay Company has bought luxury department store rival Neiman Marcus in a $2.65 billion U.S. deal following months of speculation. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the suspension of Montreal Alouettes defensive lineman Sean Lemon has been reinstated. The CFL suspended Lemon indefinitely on April 24th for allegedly betting on games, including one he played in. The league says Lemon will remain suspended until after an arbitration hearing, which has been rescheduled from tomorrow to the beginning of August. Meanwhile, Week 5 of the CFL season kicks off tonight in Regina as the Saskatchewan Roughriders host the Toronto Argonauts. In MLB action, the Toronto Blue Jays fizzled after the first inning in a 5-3 loss to the Houston Astros this afternoon at the Rogers Center. The teams combined for 6 runs, 8 hits, and 10 base runners in a wild first inning. Canada's Denis Shapovalov is off to the 3rd round of Wimbledon. He will next play 14th seed Ben Shelton of the United States. And Dave Cameron will be back behind the Canadian bench at the 2025 World Junior Hockey Championship. From the Canadian Press, I'm Naira Ahmed.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.